In the meantime, the market needs to tank. The market needs to be, we need to wipe out the bad debt that people are servicing. We need to have people who shouldn't be landlords not be landlords anymore.
Shrubs.me, your all-in-one digital hub. Share files, links, videos, and more from one beautiful customizable page. Get your free account with 2.5 gigabytes of cloud storage today at shrubs.me.
I think the governments are always following their constituents. So we had this market mania, prices are going up, so we need housing supply, prices are too high, make it more affordable, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, like we're in for a market correction here right now. However long it lasts, nobody knows. But like we're into something major right now. I'm a real estate agent. I deal with it on that market side, and we're
It's
in some
deep. Yeah.
real issues that are nowhere near from over, And so
No.
once that starts to translate into the actual population suffering, losing their homes, more and more power sales, more and more bankruptcies, more and more people going to their counselors and their MPs and their MPPs and saying to them like, hey, like we need to fix this. Like already
Yeah.
Olivia Chow just started talking the other day about no development charges up to 6 or 7 units, right? So after we had got the 6 units approved in a few areas already. They're talking about the
Who
development
the
charges
hell
are an
thinks
issue.
that's
So
smart?
everyone's saying we're not building them because of that, and now she's talking about development charges relief. So there's things
Let's
that
focus on
just take
6
time.
units.
It doesn't matter. It takes time,
Fucking
but
dumb.
when nothing gets built and everybody's complaining and that we're stuck and there's enough noise for them to start making changes. But the government moves like molasses. I mean, nothing's going
Yeah.
to happen overnight. It's going to take time. But so far in the last 5 years, we have seen a ton of changes that have been happening from different policies. Some are better than others, I know, but
Garden Suites is
huge
a winner.
changes have been coming over the last 5 years. And maybe they're not all going to work right away, but over time, we got like a recipe for growth. In the meantime, the market needs to tank. The market needs to be, we need to wipe out the bad debt that people are servicing. We need to have people who shouldn't be landlords not be landlords anymore. We need to have condo developers who are not ready to be developers, move to the side. Like, and a lot of bad things need to happen in order for us to be able to get back on track so that the right people are going to be in the markets. The right mindset going into the market will be used when buying properties. And so then that way we can actually have an efficient system. But like, you have great ideas, Richard. I just think it's so far from being able to be changed. Like our systems are so far off that it's going to just take an incredibly long
You
amount
know,
of time for us to get
I,
back
I
on track.
I agree with everything you've said there. The one thing I would point out, in my view, is that, and I've been saying this for a long time, is that unfortunately, before these changes that I think are needed and other people think are needed, and the scale and scope of them, which is huge, is we've got to hit a wall. And we're hitting that wall now. We are now in a major correction, and it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. The system needs to be shocked. And it's not just, federal sales tax relief for first time home buyers. We're talking way more than that. But getting government there is, it's going to take time. The big, amongst many dangers I'm worried about right now, is that by the time we do get our act together, we will have decimated our development and building teams and construction crews,
Yeah.
and they won't be around. And so then you're into off-site construction, but that's no panacea. That's very difficult to do. I mean, if you go to countries where they're building modular and panelized housing, I mean, they've been doing it for decades and they're really good at it, but it's not the whole market. And it's very sophisticated. This is not stuff where you say, okay, what we'll replace those framing on-site framing crews and we'll just bang together some walls and floors in a factory somewhere. That's not what we're talking about here. It's
Mhm.
an entirely different process, right from design through to occupancy.
Yeah.
And so we're working on that. But yeah, we're going to feel some real pain.